Are you one of the millions of pensioners about to receive the biggest state pension increase in years? The government has just confirmed a major boost to state pensions for 2025, and you need to know exactly how this will affect your finances. The changes could mean hundreds of extra pounds in your pocket next year, but there's more to this story than the headlines suggest. With the cost of living continuing to rise and energy bills at record highs, understanding exactly what this pension boost means for your daily life has never been more crucial. Could this be the financial relief you've been waiting for, or is it simply not enough to make a real difference? Before I dive into all the details, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our updates on pension changes, benefits, and financial advice for retirees. And if you know someone who's retired or approaching retirement, share this video with them. This information is too important to miss. I'm committed to breaking down complex financial changes into clear, actionable advice that can help improve your retirement living standards, and your support helps me reach more people who need this vital information. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm breaking down the newly confirmed state pension boost coming in 2025 that's going to affect millions of pensioners across the country. The Treasury has just announced that the state pension will rise by 4.1% next April, bringing the full new state pension to £11,962 per year. That's an increase of £470 annually. This decision follows weeks of speculation about whether the government would honour the triple lock commitment amid ongoing economic challenges. But what does this actually mean for your weekly income? Well, the new state pension will increase from £221.20 to £230.25 per week, while those on the basic state pension will see their payments rise from £169.50 to £176.45 weekly. That's an extra £9.50 or £6.95 in your pocket every single week. Sounds good, doesn't it? But is this increase really as generous as the government is claiming? And more importantly, will it be enough to cover your essential expenses as prices continue to climb across everything from groceries to utilities? Let's put this in context. This 4.1% rise is tied to the triple lock guarantee, which ensures pensions increase by the highest of three figures: inflation, average earnings growth, or 2.5%. For 2025, it's the average earnings figure of 4.1% that's triggered this boost. The triple lock was introduced back in 2010 to ensure pensioners don't fall behind the working population in terms of income growth, but it has faced criticism and calls for reform from various quarters who argue it's too generous in the current economic climate. What do you think? Is the triple lock a fair way to calculate pension increases, or should there be a different approach? Many of you have been asking how this compares to previous years. Last year, pensioners received a substantial 8.5% increase, and before that, a 10.1% rise. So while 4.1% is certainly welcome, it's actually a smaller percentage increase than we've seen in recent years. Does that mean pensioners are getting less support when they need it most? Critics argue that the previous larger increases were responding to exceptional inflation, while supporters of the current boost point out that it still outpaces the current inflation rate of 2.3%. But the question remains: with energy prices predicted to rise again this winter and food inflation still running high, will this increase actually maintain your standard of living? Another important question: who exactly qualifies for the full amount? To receive the full new state pension of £230.25 weekly, you'll need at least 35 qualifying years of national insurance contributions. If you have fewer years, your pension will be proportionally lower. Have you checked your national insurance record recently to see if you have any gaps that could affect your pension amount? This is particularly important for those who've had career breaks, worked part-time, or spent time as carers. The good news is that you can check your national insurance record online through the government gateway, and in some cases, you can pay voluntary contributions to fill gaps. But be aware the rules around voluntary contributions have changed recently, with the deadline to fill historical gaps extended until April 2026. Now, there's something crucial that many people overlook. Even with this increase, the UK state pension remains one of the lowest in Europe as a percentage of average earnings. The average pension in the UK replaces about 28% of pre-retirement earnings, compared to an OECD average of 59%. Countries like Italy, France, and Spain all offer significantly more generous state pensions. So I have to ask, are you relying solely on your state pension, or do you have additional sources of retirement income? Financial advisors typically recommend aiming for around 70% of your working income in retirement to maintain your standard of living. Have you calculated whether your current pension arrangements will get you there? For those of you on pension credit, there's good news too. The standard minimum guarantee will also rise by 4.1%, meaning an extra £7.45 per week for single pensioners and £11.35 for couples. But did you know that around 880,000 eligible pensioners aren't claiming pension credit? Could you be one of them missing out on this valuable top-up? Pension credit isn't just important for the direct financial support it provides, it's also a gateway benefit that can unlock other forms of assistance, including housing benefit, council tax reduction, and free TV licenses for over 75s. The application process has been simplified in recent years, and you can now apply online, by phone, or by post. Have you checked your eligibility, or could you help an elderly relative or neighbor to check theirs? I'm also hearing concerns from many of you about the rising state pension age. The age at which you can claim your state pension is gradually increasing to 67 by 2028, and there are plans to raise it further to 68 in the future. Have you factored these changes into your retirement planning? The government argues that these increases are necessary to ensure the sustainability of the pension system as life expectancy rises, but many of you have expressed concerns about whether you'll be physically able to work until these later ages, particularly in physically demanding jobs. Recent research suggests that while we're living longer, the number of years we spend in good health hasn't increased at the same rate. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think the state pension age should continue to rise, or should there be more flexibility in the system? Let's address another common question: what about tax? Remember that the personal tax allowance has been frozen at £12,570 until April 2028. With the new full state pension reaching £11,962 annually, those with even small additional income sources might find themselves paying income tax. Are you aware of how this might affect your overall retirement income? This fiscal drag effect means that as pensions and other incomes rise with inflation, more pensioners are being pulled into the tax net without any changes to the tax thresholds. Some analysts estimate that an additional 650,000 pensioners could become taxpayers by 2028 due to this freeze. Have you spoken to a financial advisor about tax-efficient ways to structure your retirement income? Many of you have also been asking about winter support. The government has confirmed that the winter fuel payment will continue for pensioners receiving pension credit, with payments of £200 for households with someone born between September 23, 1944, and September 22, 1964, and £300 for households with someone born before September 23, 1944. But this is a significant change from previous years when all pensioners received this payment regardless of income. How will this affect your ability to stay warm this winter? The decision to means test the winter fuel payment has been highly controversial, with campaigners arguing it could leave many vulnerable older people struggling to heat their homes. The government counters that it's targeting support at those who need it most while managing public finances responsibly. What's your view? Is means testing the right approach, or should universal benefits be maintained for all pensioners? Beyond the headline figures, there are other important changes you should be aware of. Attendance allowance, which provides support for pensioners with disabilities, will also increase by 4.1%. The lower rate will rise to £72.65 and the higher rate to £108.55 per week. Similarly, disability living allowance and personal independence payment will see the same percentage increase. Are you claiming all the disability benefits you're entitled to? These can make a significant difference to your quality of life if you're living with health conditions or disabilities. Another aspect worth considering is how the pension increase compares to the rising cost of care. With care home fees averaging around £800 per week for a residential home and over £1,100 for a nursing home, many pensioners face difficult financial decisions when it comes to later life care. The government has postponed the introduction of the £86,000 cap on personal care costs that was due to be implemented, meaning there's still no upper limit on how much individuals might need to pay. Have you thought about how you would fund care if you needed it? This is an increasingly important part of retirement planning that often gets overlooked. Let's also consider the regional variations in the cost of living for pensioners. While the state pension is the same across the UK, the cost of housing, heating, and local services can vary dramatically. Pensioners in London and the South East face significantly higher living costs than those in other parts of the country, yet receive the same pension amount. Do you think there should be regional adjustments to the state pension to reflect these differences? Or would this create an unfair two-tier system? For those of you approaching retirement, it's worth noting that the state pension age is not the only age threshold that matters. You can access private pensions from age 55, rising to 57 by 2028, which could provide flexibility in how you transition into retirement. Have you considered a phased retirement, where you gradually reduce your working hours while drawing some pension income? This approach can ease the transition and potentially allow you to build up additional pension rights. So there you have it, a comprehensive breakdown of the 2025 state pension boost and its implications. While the 4.1% increase is certainly welcome news, it's essential to look at the bigger picture of your retirement finances. Are you making the most of all the benefits and support available to you? Have you explored options to supplement your state pension? The landscape of retirement is changing rapidly, with increasing life expectancy, rising costs, and shifting government policies all playing a part. Remember, understanding these changes is the first step to securing your financial future. Planning for retirement isn't just about the state pension, it's about creating a comprehensive strategy that includes private pensions, savings, investments, and potentially property or other assets. Have you taken a holistic view of your retirement finances recently? When was the last time you reviewed your pension statements or spoke to a financial advisor? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this pension increase. Will it make a significant difference to your finances? Are you concerned about the rising cost of living? Do you think the government is doing enough to support pensioners? Your experiences and perspectives are invaluable, not just to me but to other viewers who may be facing similar challenges. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on pensions, benefits, and financial advice for retirees. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video on maximizing your pension benefits. And if you have any specific questions about these changes, leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them in our next Q&A session. As always, I'm committed to bringing you clear, accurate information about the financial issues that matter most to pensioners. If there are other topics you'd like me to cover, or if you have suggestions for how I can make these videos more helpful, please let me know in the comments. Your feedback helps shape the content of this channel. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your financial well-being in retirement. By staying informed and planning ahead, you can make the most of your pension and enjoy the retirement you deserve. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.